Who are you guys and what do you do?
Head Like a Kite. I'm Dave, and I play the sampler, guitars, and vocals, and keyboards. Mix stuff up, cut it, paste it, readjust.
And sing.
Oh, I'd sing too.
Oh, that too? Okay.
Yeah.
And my name is Trent, and I play drums and electric drums and some keys, and I am the professional calisthenics. That's calisthenics, but calisthenics. Say that.
I can't.
I can't. I can't.
That's why he's that thing, because I can't actually say it.
I mean, I can stretch like a freaking banshee here. See? It's a calisthenics.
Yeah.
You don't eat cheese though.
Well, just before playing a show.
Don't eat cheese.
Calisthenics.
Calisthenics. Like a hygienist.
Right.
But a nutritionist.
It's similar.
Yes.
Y'all are having a CD release show tonight.
Yeah. And album release, which we're pretty excited about. And also coffee release.
Coffee.
What's the name of it?
The name of the album and the CD are both called Dream Suspend Night. The name of the coffee is Head Like a Kite Reserve, roasted by Cafe Vita.
Wow, you're really good at that. What does Dream Suspend Night mean?
Well, it comes from a lyric in the chorus of Director's Cut. And the idea was sometimes when you get to a point where you're just sort of thinking about something so long that it just sort of, and you're really in the moment, that it just kind of suspends everything and puts you into a moment where what you're doing right now is the most important thing in the world, and it will last as long as if you hang on to that. Then when you let it go, the night begins.
You guys seem to work with a lot of different groups and artists and a big range of artists. Why?
Well, I think that comes back to what Head Like a Kite's all about. I mean, if you listen to the albums, it's kind of a breaking down of genres and lots of different types of music coming together into one. And so it only seems natural that when we do shows that we would embrace that same thing and have, a combination of hip-hop, electronic, indie rock, garage rock. Basically like anything that feels like a really great college radio playlist. if you can throw that together on a college radio playlist, why can't you do that on an album? Why can't you do that at a live show? If you look at a good festival and you look at the bands playing at the festival, it's usually fairly eclectic, and so we try to do that in our shows too.
Yes.
That sounds great. How do you guys decide who to work with in these collaborations?
Well, usually it's from people that we've done something with before. Like we'll do a show with someone, we'll really have fun being around them. Like the case of Daedalus, who we're playing with tonight. That was actually an example where we were both on the same label, Mush, and so we then met through that. Her Space Holiday, Boom Bip. That's how those connections came about.
Yeah. Who was the most fun to work with on the new album? Fun being the operative word here in this question.
Probably Trent. No. Well, I mean,
myself.
One thing about Head Like a Kite, I feel really blessed that we get to play with so many different types of people. I mean, it's cool because in a typical band situation, you've got 4 or 5 guys, girls, whatever that you're playing with, and it's difficult to break out of that and invite new people in without hard feelings, And this has been kind of cool because it's sort of like this open door of different guests that come in and out, and there's no commitment from them. Like if they want to do shows with us, they're totally welcome to, but it's not like they have to commit to that. So as a result, it really opens the doors and brings new people in. But the original question is, how do we decide?
How do you decide who you're going to work with? Which you said, you labels or shows or whatever, but who's the most fun?
Oh, the most fun.
Yeah.
That was
Excuse me.
Anthony Moore.
Anthony Moore from Fossil.
Yeah.
Why?
He is uber talented. When he came in, the idea was he was just going to play. What I usually do is I'll write the part on a MIDI, like a MIDI fake trumpet. Then he would come in and play the actual part on the trumpet.
Oh wow.
But he came in and he busted that out in a matter of minutes. And then he pulls out a clarinet. He's got all these other horn instruments, and I mean, it was really inspiring working with him. And also, it was very different from, say, other people who, really talented vocalists, like, say, Ossie or Greg Markle or Terry Tarantula. Some of these people, they come in and these great vocal parts. And so that's kind of what I'm more used to, is inviting the vocalists in. So it's kind of fun to then bring in an instrumentalist like this. And really, if you listen to the new album, Dream Suspend Night, there's a lot of trumpet on there.
There's a heavy amount of trumpet.
And originally, there was just going to be a few songs, and then he sounded.
It
so
is
great.
hard to simply or briefly categorize your guys' music, or I mean, without using like 10 words, like
Right.
you
Which
know,
is a
with
bad-
hyphens in between. I mean, like garage, punk, post, you know, rap. So, how do you guys describe it?
I don't know. It's tough because people need a description, right? Because like you put it into a record store, you put it up on iTunes, or what, you know, or you do a show and they want this one sentence. Actually, not one sentence. They want this 1 word, 2 word description. I don't know. I actually have a hard time with that. I don't know. What do you do when people
Well,
ask you?
I mean,
I say
think about
electronic indie rock, but I don't think that describes.
There's definitely a DJ element because he's remixing stuff live on stage, and there's just 2 of us for the most part. And I don't know. There's a lot of break beats, so there's a lot of funk involved. Although it's not like outwardly funk. On this new one, there's Dream Suspend Night. There's a track with Terry Tarantula. It's just this dance floor kind of burner. It has like almost like a warble synth, like almost a drum and bass sound, but with this really kind of catapulting dance beat.
Yeah, so it's hard to
It's
describe.
hard
that,
to
you know,
succinctly
like-
describe.
Yeah,
you
and
guys.
so the problem, and that's that sometimes is our problem.
No,
is-
that's the
is
media's
people
problem. I don't think that's your
want-
guys'
Yeah,
problem.
no, that's
We
really
can't fit you
not-
into a box. That's
It's
our
the only reason
problem.
it's our problem is because sometimes it makes it difficult for us
Yeah.
to reach certain people because they don't know how to
I
describe
mean,
it.
just as long as the people at the shows move,
Movers.
action
Movers.
oriented.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Action oriented.
Calisthenics.
Look out and you can just connect. You can immediately see, like, if there's a lot of people moving while you're playing and they're enthusiastic, to me that's a good show. We've connected. How would you judge a good show?
If there were no major malfunctions with gear, if I felt like we hit all the parts firmly, and if enough smoke from the smoke machine is fired off, that's the sign.
We've had a few technical
Smoke
problems with smoke machines lately.
That
It's
is
all
a
about the smoke, really.
that is a problem if the smoke machine doesn't work.
Because then we're naked up there.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
What are we supposed to do with
I'm
no
really
smoke?
excited about how things came about with Cafe Vita because I think we're in a time right now in the music industry where the traditional ways of creating music and selling music and making it available have changed. This is kind of cool because we've partnered with a coffee roasting company that's printing up the vinyl and selling it at all of their coffee shops. And then, they're also printing up the Kite Reserve coffee.
It is an excellent blend of
See, the problem with the calisthenics thing
Yeah.
is if he does too many of them, he passes out. This happens a lot in interviews.
that'll be a funny cut, you know.
Yeah.
I
What's
was
your
feeling stupid
You
there.
think
What's
I'm
your
gonna cut
favorite
that?
song to play live? From
I
the
would
new album.
say my very first Ransom Note.
I was actually going to ask some questions about how that seemed to be a different song than sort of just totally in a different direction than a lot of the songs on the album.
Yeah.
And that variety is obviously part of what we've been talking about, what you guys do in your music, but
Yeah.
why that kind of dark smudge? Not that smudge is
Yeah.
a bad thing, but it is a
Right.
darker song than I
Yeah.
think the other ones.
Yeah, I think Headlight Kite's generally pretty upbeat, playful, but there's always been a sinister side too, if you listen to some of the vocals. And it's like mixing playful and sinister together. Ransom Note just fully embraces the sinister side.
He's hearkening back to, he's channeling his inner Dwayne Allman.
All right, guys, thanks a lot for taking the time and hanging out tonight.
Thank you.
And have a good show. It's nice hanging out. Kill it.